Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today on this one more edition of our webinars. In this case, we're going to be talking about understanding the delivery economy. Before we begin, a few notes. We're going to send you the recording at the end, so don't worry about that. You can submit your questions at any time. We can do a Q&A throughout the whole webinar or at the end. And we're going to have an exit survey at the exit, okay? Today with me, I have Adrian Sanchez, and he's a software advisor here in Magaya, one of our younger stars, and myself, Eduardo Bencomo, so senior software advisor in Magaya. Adrian, the idea today is that we have this conversation about how more and more the delivery is going from an added value to a main product, right? So we're going to see some data. We're going to see also what can you do, how this impact your brand, your product, and your service overall. And hopefully at the end, the takeaway will be what can you do to bring some of that profit to you, protect your brand, and provide a better service to your customers, right?
Perfect. Good afternoon, Ed. Sounds good. Now, like any economy, I guess there is a currency and a trade. I think what we're seeing is consumers are no longer just buying a product. I think delivery is now a core component in customer satisfaction, and the price of products seems to still be up there, but kind of taking a back seat to what is considered when purchasing. I think delivery time.
For example, give me an example of that you've seen lately. What happens?
Well, one example that just comes to mind is ordering on Uber Eats, for instance. Personally, I always look for the free deliveries, right? Regardless of whether I'm craving Mexican food or Central American food or whatever it may be. I kind of want to not pay delivery, so I feel like that's affected regardless of what I'm in the mood for. I think that's just one example of how that's affecting.
Yeah, what is happening, I see, is that these expectations that the end consumer on the business to consumer model are pushing the expectations on the business to business, right? So the customers buying from business or business buying from other business are expecting the same level of service whenever they're purchasing something from a company. So that's what's actually pushing this new trend right now. Let's talk a little bit of data that we have here. So at a glance, you see high numbers, percentage, 94% of people who make purchases for their company say they expect the same level of focus on customer satisfaction. 85% of marketers now say that delivery is moderately to very important to a brand. And 71% of consumers say on-demand delivery apps are reshaping consumer expectations for how they want all the online purchase deliver. I don't know if you know this, but Amazon, the giant Amazon, had to pull out of China because the expectation of the Chinese market was to receive their products not in 2 days, like we're accustomed now with Prime, who are fortunate people that have Prime, but in 2 to 6 hours. So they could not commit to that. So they had to pull out from the market. So we're going to see that trend coming to the States as well, of course, and that's the trend that is pushing on the business to business side as well.
Yeah, I think calling it a trend is the right term as well, especially since it's not only quality or value of product, but the speed of delivery, tracking along the way, notifications, etc. I think customer service is having to deal directly with customer service is usually what happens when something goes wrong in a delivery.
Right.
And being a satisfied customer is, I think, getting the delivery on time. I think just to go back to the Uber Eats example, I think I read somewhere that people are more likely to complain about delivery time than the quality of food.
Right. I personally, for example, I bought a pair of sunglasses. Not long ago. There was nothing wrong with the orders. I like the glasses, but I canceled the order because they didn't give me an update of what was happening with my order.
Yeah.
It's a personal, real experience. I canceled the order, nothing was wrong. I like the product, I like the price, but they couldn't tell me what was happening with my order.
Yeah.
And I get a refund, of course, but
And you probably went somewhere else with the same glasses.
Definitely. And the only thing they did was just to keep me updated.
Yeah.
You are processing your request. You're going to receive it in a certain amount of days. I mean, probably would arrive at the same time that the other one, right? It's just I wasn't appraised or
the consideration of the updates.
Yeah, because uncertainty is what actually affects us the most as human beings. We want to know.
Absolutely.
So that's one of that's the key expectations again that we're seeing right now.
Yeah. Now, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I agree. I think that well, we had listened to another discussion that Project 44 had made, and I think they made a good point, how the delivery expectations from B2C has really translated to B2B, and it goes to show how holistic the entire logistics of just providing customers with what they need, what their product is, how everything is just tied into itself. If you expect that 92% stat that we saw previously, I think it makes sense that if you get used to ordering your groceries, ordering your toothbrushes, and having them delivered on time, that when you get into work and you have to order, create your purchase orders and revamp your inventory, that you want that as well to be on time and faster, maybe even. So I think it's interesting. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So what are the problems that we're seeing? I mean, from customers not being able to get onto this wagon is like basically what we're talking about: limited visibility and predictability. So that equals to missed opportunities. They don't understand what are the bottlenecks in their process. It could be, slow order processing, no connectivity with the online stores, absolutely no customer portal or online store whatsoever. So receive orders manually or over the phone yet. Of course, no backend system that allows you to process those orders, connect to your inventory, do delivery. So fragmented data at the end, and that leads to inaccuracies and duplicates. So you have to solve that chain of events or change of processes from end to end. So from where the customer is buying to where you receive the order, to where that inventory is allocated or stocked, to what quick you can do delivery, and how you update the customer and all those processes that are meaningful to the end customer at the end. So those are the key problems, and that's what the causes that your brand suffers. That you will leave at some point profit on the table, because if you need, for example, if you outsource the delivery, maybe you are leaving some profit that you could do yourself, just because you don't know
for sure
that you can
miss opportunities.
It's missed opportunities at the end, right? It's money leave on the table, or not actually your accuracy seeing the data that is coming to them. I mean, meaning the order or the status of it sent back to the customer, and so on and so forth. So on that sense, this slide says it all. You have to understand why customers aren't just buying a product; they are buying an entire experience. It's not only the value, it's not only the product itself, it's the whole experience that goes from end to end, from the value of the product, the cost of the product, the delivery of the product, the convenience of the delivery.
Exactly.
Most of the delivery, the convenience. Do you deliver at extra hours? Do you deliver sooner than anyone else? Do you deliver at
the door?
What delivery options do I have? Can I pick up a store, for example? So all those variables are, I guess, weighed in the overall experience of the customer. Okay.
Yeah.
So next, I believe we have a poll. I'm gonna show now a question that we have for you. So basically, the question is: are you outsourcing or doing your own deliveries? I mean, you have your own trucks, or you rent trucks, or you rent someone to do it. Moreover, I mean, are you actually controlling the delivery itself? It's not that you don't have to own the trucks, so you don't have to be a asset based carrier. You can actually outsource it, but you can control the whole the whole delivery process. So we'll leave it there for you to vote. How long we're gonna leave it there? So like 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, so you can take a vote. Now we're gonna move on to.
Actually,
Let's give it one more second here for people to still voting. And we're gonna show you the answers. And whoever answered. Okay.
yeah, and I don't think that there's a wrong answer here either. It's really about who's
Yeah, it's just to get
who
yourself.
does the job
Yeah.
correctly and quickly enough.
So we're gonna show it right now. Okay.
Okay.
Give us just 1 second, and we're
Pulling up the
Okay,
poll answers
so
now.
we're seeing the answers right now. So 55% of you are outsourcing the deliveries, 27% doing their own, and 18% other. I mean, maybe there's a mix
Yeah,
of.
I'm curious as to what that other
It's a
is.
mix of, or a mix of asset-based, not asset-based, controlling the delivery or not, or no deliveries at all. So you see right there, the majority of you are not outsourcing. Probably you're leaving that money on the table. So that takes us to how is that impacting your brand, your business? Well, you need to check, Adrian, that the delivery is impacting your brand perceptions of customers as prospects. You have to map the customer journey and do your shopping yourself to see how they do it and what will be the expectations. So there's three things that you need to keep your eye on, which are where's the profit going, right? So, and this is where it leads us to the question itself. I mean, when you're doing your own delivery, because one of the key things here is that when you don't do your own delivery, you might be leaving some profit escape.
Almost
For sure. Someone else is taking that profit. The other thing is that you're not controlling the service, the quality of that delivery. Again, you don't have to own the asset, the truck in this case. But if you control the quality of the delivery using, approval deliveries, and
Updates,
tools that we have,
tracking.
updates that we have that are available, well, then you might be either leaving money on the table or affecting your brand and your business, because the perception of your service will be affected by this. The very important thing here is if you're using that technology to make delivery distinctive. How can we do that distinctive, Adrian?
I think just leveraging your tech partners. So I mean, whatever software you use should help your business in regards to that. I mean, at the end of the day, what you want is a competitive edge. So how can you bring something extra to the table that your competitor can't? The ability to track. And I mean, at the end of the day, what better way than to control your own delivery? Make sure that you're offering your customers visibility, because the timely delivery and the updates, all of that kind of goes hand in hand in what the customer already is expecting. I think that in the delivery industry right now, it's catching the how would I say it? The same way that you grew tired of waiting for an update about your glasses.
Right.
Is the same way that businesses are getting tired of companies that don't offer
growing
that.
availability of offers out there, that leads the way, or it opens the door.
And the company with the competitive edge, the company that offered you the updates, that's the company that you ended up purchasing your glasses from, for instance.
Right.
That kind of translates.
I don't know if you've seen that. This is more a business to consumer example, but that Domino's is offering, for example, if you pick up your pizza and you drop it on your way home, they'll exchange it at no cost.
Yeah.
So they're even offering to fix the potholes in your way.
Yeah.
So probably they're not going to do it, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. It's a good campaign they're offering. So notice how they're focusing on the last mile of the process. I mean, of course, they take care of the pieces of what you like and whatnot, but now they're going when you leave their doors as well.
Yeah.
They're very catchy, I would say. marketing
Yeah,
campaign.
I'm sure it's still the same pizza as
It's
10
the same
years
pizza.
ago.
They haven't changed that. They're just
But
now
the-
offering you
yeah.
like a level of certainty, which again probably you're not going to use. I mean, it's a million, one in a million that you're going to drop the pizza
But it goes to show
on your
how,
way
how
out.
much how much attention the delivery is.
Correct. They're taking to that because there's a whole economy associated with that. You know, when you're going to order next time pizza, you're going to say, "Wow, let me go with these guys that if something happens,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to protect my pizza." You know, it's kind of like a funny example, but it
It goes to
illustrates
show, yeah.
illustrates what we're talking about here. So what can you do? So basically, you know, we in our company here, you know, we're an ecosystem of solutions, and we cover the end-to-end of logistics. We go from a wide variety of different companies that use our service, but all of them at a different legs or different phases of the logistic process. In this specific webinar, I think is relevant. Three key features that we have that will provide visibility for your customers. You know, very important, not only visibility, but keep your customer updated, and also provide your customers with a portal where they can place orders, they can see the status of the orders, and they can receive alerts automatically. Also, you will be able to control that final leg of the process.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't have to be asset-based. I mean, but you can at least give that driver a tool in his phone so he collect the signature, take a picture of the product he delivered to your customer, and that is automatically sent to your system. So at least you guarantee or you are making certain that the product is arriving in good shape. You got confirmation from the driver. You can use optimal routes, so that allows to faster deliveries for your drivers.
Sure.
And last but not least, you know, we have connectivity out of the box with the online retailer. So if you are selling your own product, you're selling it on Amazon, eBay, Shopify, or have your own store in Magento, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, or we have that connectivity with the back end. So it's important that you have a system that allows you to do order processing, inventory control, warehouse management, and everything in one single ecosystem that allows you to provide a better service to your customers end to end, which is what we're discussing here. I mean, I don't know, you want to add something to that, Adrian?
I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think just the trend that we see in other industries, you know, to the speed of delivery, getting rid of that middleman, sometimes doing your own delivery and recovering that profit is the way to go. But there's no question that the customer, the end consumer, really does appreciate that final mile information, that information that comes.
I guess the most important is that
you
you need to map your customer journey.
Exactly.
You need to understand where is your process broken, and then go fix it.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
and there's value in allowing your customer that transparency.
Absolutely. So we're gonna move on now to our Q&A. If you have any questions, you can raise your hands. Okay, we have a question here from Merjan Nissen. It says, what is about the user experience at the point of shopping? Well, it depends. Two things here. It depends if you are doing your own sales. I mean, is this your own product? If you actually control the online store, well, there's tools that are available for that on the different platforms, Amazon, eBay. If you have your own store, you design your own store in a platform like Magento, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, they offer you tools right there to send an email automatically to the customer, providing the payment tools. But most important is that when that order goes to the distribution center where your product is stored, maybe you control that, but maybe you don't. If you don't, you have to make sure that the distribution center has the tools to then update your customers what's happening when the order is processing, when the order is being prepped, when the order is already on its way, and so on. So there's customers that control the whole process end to end. Some customers control some of the process. What's important is to know that who's providing the service to you have the tools to do so.
Yeah.
And then don't leave it that to just the way they do things. Just make sure that your customers receive that extra mile in service. I felt that is the actual point where the customer experience. That's correct, exactly, and it's really important. And if you're doing B2B, for example, we have tools to so you can provide the customer with a portal where they can see, products that you are selling, place orders themselves. Your backend system, which should email us automatically when that order comes in. Every step of the way that can be fine-tuned so your end customer receives the information he needs.
Yeah, I think if they're calling in for status update, you've missed an opportunity to satisfy them.
Correct. I'm going to put you a personal example. I mean, it is a business to consumer because I'm a consumer, but I purchased from a business service. I've signed a contract. I haven't heard back from him.
No.
From them. So I'm getting anxious already.
Yeah, that's never comforting.
I keep asking, when are you going to start the service? And they keep telling me 1 or 2 weeks. Yes, but 1 or 2 weeks. What they give me an estimate,
Yeah.
So that gets me a little anxious. And then in this case, it's hard for me to pull out.
Right.
But if it were other, easier or the kind of product, I probably would have put out right now. So exactly, you nail it on the head there. That the first experience is the most important. Remember, human beings, we form an experience in 30 seconds. So whenever you meet a person, whenever you request a service, whenever you ask for something, you get 30 seconds back. Those immediate 30 seconds, you form an experience of how good a service is.
And it sticks.
How good a person is, or what is your idea of that person's personality, to name it in a way, okay? Anyone else? Okay, we have here, no? Okay, perfect. I see people here that are very experienced in the distribution. Jairo, my friend Jairo, is right here with us today, and no one else. See, we have someone else asking a question here. See, let's check here. Okay. So someone is asking us here, how can they control the delivery? Well, like we mentioned, there's tools for that. Either if you provide the truck drivers with a tool, so to receive the delivery orders, to map the best route to do those deliveries, and also to get the signature, for example, to take pictures when you're delivering, and all those events are triggering emails as well. So there are tools for that. We have tools for that. And then again, if you don't control the drivers itself, at least you can ask them, the company is doing the deliveries for you, to do that and connect to your system on that last phase. So don't leave that. Don't think that it ends when you prep your order and you put it out of the warehouse. Okay, it continues beyond that. Okay, there's another question? No? Thank you. Okay, Jairo has a question. My friend Jairo, how you doing? To help understand what should you do to help your seller to understand the process of return logistics? Okay, so this question has me for another webinar itself. But most important is that everything starts with good data. So if the seller, depending on, again, if you are doing the distribution for the seller, Jairo, most important is to start with good data. So have map completely the products that you're gonna provide distribution for, how the orders will arrive to you, and in this case, if you need to do returns, you can arrange it, for example, with FedEx, UPS directly from our system. Right. So you can arrange for returns to do FedEx, print labels to return with FedEx at UPS and USPS. That can be arranged as well in our system. So and it's a good question, because it's the return of the delivery experience, when you come back. So you could put also your return policies clear for the customer, make it extensive. I mean, depending on how you can provide more return time, or or so there's the things that you can do there. That's more as a business side, but I guess what's important here, or where you were aiming at, is that you have tools to allow the products that you distribute for a seller to come back, and then you can register that, and you can initiate that return at any time. Okay. Okay, so thank you for your questions. Let me see if there's someone else here. Thank you, Jairo, for joining us. Mirja, really nice questions. We're going to show you really quick here. I'm going to ask you to keep in touch with us. We are Magaya Corporation. We are located here in the heart of Miami, Doral, city of Doral. And stay tuned for the next one. We also want to let you in that we're going to start kind of podcasts, so from time to time. And so keep tuned for that. And we're going to make it interesting, simple and sweet, like this one. Okay, any questions, let us know. We're going to leave that information in the screen for a few moments in case you want to shoot an email to either Adrian or myself. And again, we wish you a very nice afternoon, and thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for being here. Thanks so much.